Hello YouTube, and recently I was able to score a pretty killer deal on some OEM Super Nintendo controllers, but sadly enough these are very well played, they're very well used, and very disgusting, very dirty as well. But fortunately enough, I know how to take apart and clean these controllers and make them look and feel good as new. So I figured on today's video I would show you guys, the viewing audience, the viewers, how to take apart and clean some of these old Super Nintendo controllers, so that way you can make yours feel, maybe not feel, but at least look better, more aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, we're going to do a quick cut and we're going to be looking at this controller. Alright, so in order to go about taking apart and cleaning a Super Nintendo controller, you're going to need a couple things. The first thing is, of course, some soap. Any kind of soap will do as long as it's soap. Some electronic dust wipe pads. This is a name brand thing. You could use rubbing alcohol wipes as well. You could basically just use any cleaning wipe that you have, but I recommend using something that's electronic safe. Some contact pads. You'll find out what those are for later. And a smaller-ish Phillips head screwdriver. That's all you're going to need. Nothing too crazy, no special tools really. Just stuff you should have lying around the house, excluding the contact pads. I guess those would be considered special tools, but you could just use the original contact pads that are in here. I recommend using newer ones, just so that way you get that new controller feeling. But yeah, so if you take a look at this, you guys can see all the dirt and grime on this controller, just absolutely filthy, absolutely disgusting, which is why we're going to be taking it apart and cleaning it, repairing it, to whatever. So the first thing you're going to do is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screw points, and all you're going to do is take your Phillips head and you're going to unscrew these. And so I'm going to unscrew mine off camera and we'll be right back. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've removed all 5 of my screws, and so just like that, the back of this controller will now just come off. So now you can just clean this back side if you want, or you can be like me and just wait and do it all at once. So then you're going to just pull this controller cord wire right there, you're going to pull it, and then that's going to release the back of the controller. And you know, you just get this all disassembled now. You know, take the buttons off, take the contact pads out and everything, and everything like that. Get everything taken off of this controller. The one thing I have to stress to be careful about though is for Super Nintendo controllers, the shoulder buttons have these small metal rods. Let's see if you can see that the metal rods go into the shoulder button hinge right there, that little hole. And so you want to make sure you don't lose these metal rods at all, because if you do lose them, your controller won't work the same anymore. And you know, just get all these buttons and everything taken off, and then go wash these buttons and the shells, you know, get them all good looking and let them dry from there. So I'm gonna wash these off screen, but there's one more thing we can do before we wash them, and that's really simple. You take one of these wipes. You know, you can use alcohol wipes, you can use really basically any kind of wipe, cleaning wipe that you have on hand. Just I recommend to try and use something that's electronic friendly though, just so that way you don't, you know, run the chance of short-circuiting anything. Although I think it's more of a superstition on my part, but whatever. So take one of your wipes, and all you're gonna do is really simply just wipe the controller cable, you know. And this is just going to clean it and make it feel good, not disgusting. Like, a lot of these old controller cables just feel really gross for, you know, obvious reasons. You know, people don't think to clean these things off or anything like that, so they just kind of attract a lot of dust and nastiness, and because of that they feel gross. But yeah, so just wipe it off with your wipe. And you see, like, look at all that disgustingness that was on that cord. It's safe to wipe these cords because the cords are protected by the cable casing and everything like that. So you don't have to worry about, like, short-circuiting anything, which is why I say you can use basically any type of wipe that you have on hand. You know, so just wipe that down, and then after that, I'm gonna go clean my controller and these buttons and whatnot, and then we'll get into reassembling that. Oh my god, look at, ew, like, I don't know how well this will appear on camera, but ew, look at how nasty that D-pad is. Oh, that's disgusting. Like, ew, guys. look at that shell. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, so I'm gonna go wash all this stuff and make it look good, and I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit. Then we'll come back for the reassembly. Alright, so now that you've let everything dry, you know, you're just going to be putting the buttons back into place, the contacts and everything. Like I said, it's optional to buy new contact pads for your controller, but I really recommend it. It makes your controllers feel pretty much brand new, because you have to think that the contact pads that are in there have been in there for, I don't know, 20 years, so that's 20 years worth of wear and tear. So they're not feeling brand new anymore, that's for sure. Unless you actually are using a brand new Super Nintendo controller, which if you are, I mean, you're an absolute madman. But yeah, so you're just going to make sure you put all of the contacts and everything back in place how they go. Make sure you're including the metal bars for the shoulder buttons. I'm almost dropped one of my metal bars right there. But yeah, make sure that you put them in like that. You know, make sure they're both secure. And then there's two contact pads that go into the shoulder button like so, like that. So just get that in there for both of them. And then of course there's one for the D-pad. Wow, that's a weird fit. I might have to redo that off screen, but whatever. And then of course there's finally one for the D-pad, which goes on like so. Then after this, you're just going to go about, you know, putting the board back in and screwing everything together. So I'm going to do that stuff off screen because I don't think it'll be very exciting to show you guys. And after I do that, then we'll come back on screen and I'll show you guys the controller working, just so that way you guys know I didn't steer you wrong. So we'll be right back. Alright, and I guess as the big test to prove to you guys everything still works on this, you know, here's Zelda Link to the Past. Everything's... Wait, do I have the run boots on this? I think I do. Wait, are the run boots L? Wait. The run boots are A. Oh yeah, that's right, because this isn't the GBA. I've played the GBA version. Yeah, I grew up with the GBA version of Link's Awakening, so playing the SNES version is a little weird. But yeah, it's still odd to me that the shoulder buttons aren't it, but whatever. Yeah, though, as you guys can see, if you guys watch this video, you know, you'll be able to hopefully get your Super Nintendo controller working, or get it in some type of better-ish condition. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, like it down below, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, all that big YouTuber energy stuff, and peace.